Hi everybody, it's Margaret here with 60andMe. Welcome to a brand new day in your life. I hope that was well. Thank you for your support of 60andMe and thank you for being here, taking the time out of your day to just sit down and watch a video. I was just looking at my numbers, about 2,000 videos now on our 60andMe YouTube channel. 2,000. I can't believe it when I stop to think over the last 8 years that I've done that many recordings, and we've talked about everything, under the sun, from fashion and beauty to makeup to retirement, relationships, wellness and health and all these things, that I think, and I've grown with you, since I started 60andMe. I've grown with you, and my priorities have changed as well. But there's one thing that I know for sure, and that is the times that I've done well in my life and broken through, even with the videos that I recorded, are the times I stepped outside my comfort zone. It's really fun to be in a groove and to be comfortable with the life that you're living and to not feel like you have to step into a world that's uncertain and unknown. A comfort zone is a safe place. You feel good here. It's what you wear the same clothes, you do the same things, you have a ritual of movement, you go to the shops, you do this. And it's not until you actually stop and do something outside that comfort zone that you actually start to feel like a different person altogether. Now, it is about, 90 degrees in this room today, so I'm going to use my beautiful fan. Isn't this pretty? Because I just need to cool down a little bit. And maybe that's something outside my comfort zone, is that I'm always sort of thinking about, just not doing things like breaking away from a video and putting a fan on my face, or, just doing things in a ritual way that, that's predictable. But how do we sort of end up in a comfort zone? Well, our brains are to blame, because they are the ones that like to keep things in a regular routine. They work best in survival mode. This is what our brains do. This is what they help us to do. They know that if we step out of our comfort zone in any area, physical or mental or emotional, that there's a danger, and that something might happen. And they don't know or the brain doesn't know whether it's a good thing that could happen or a bad thing that can happen. All it knows is, or even somewhere in between, it just knows that comfort zone is where you want to stay, because we just can perform it in autopilot, and everything becomes routine and, hey, let's face it, boring sometimes. And how do we develop our personal growth? How do we develop as people if we don't take chances now and again? And the secret the problem here is that the longer we stay in those comfort zones, the harder it is to leave. And it's not until we find someone or some group or some people, like I think 60andMe can be for you, to help you break through that comfort zone and try something different. If you've never worn makeup in your life, or you've never really tried it, why not join some of our tutorials on makeup and just play? Or why, if we talk about travel and traveling alone, traveling solo, and you've never done that, it's like really outside your comfort zone, then just maybe do it and see how it feels, see what comes of it, see how you respond to it. So the wonderful thing is that you feel this great sense of pride and accomplishment and joy when you're able to do something outside. Now, Elise Christian wrote this article that I'm referring to here because she's one of our bloggers, and wrote this. It's a really good article on 6 ways. 6 ways. She's got some specific ways here to break out of your comfort zone. And some of them might be like, yes, like, okay, Margaret, I know that one. We've talked about that before, but maybe a couple of these will be new and inspiring, and I'm excited to share them with you. So here's the first of the 6 ways to encourage personal growth. First is move towards your fears. Move towards them. Now, there's a wonderful Buddhist teacher, her name is Pema Chodron, and she has a quote. It's something like, when you move towards fear, you're moving towards the truth. And I've always loved that quote, because I think on the other side of our fear is a lot of opportunity that we don't even want to look at right now. We don't even want to examine or consider. And in doing that, and moving towards our fears, we become strong. Because the fears can be terrifying. They can be really trivial, and to another person, like, you're afraid of heights? Like as you climb up the mountain. No, but to someone else, it could be completely real and intensely challenging. So, don't try to predict the outcome, like it's going to, this is how it's going to be when I move towards my fears over the other side. Just move towards them. Talk it out. And it enables you to get stronger emotional muscles and move towards those things that are holding you back. The second thing that she talks about is learning something new. And I think this actually is kind of related. is if you are facing a fear of something and it's because you don't know how to do it or you've never done it, then learning something new can actually help you to build that muscle and to feel like you're moving forward with something. I mean, can I think of any examples? I mean, I know certainly with cooking. I mean, I never learned how to cook. I was really quite frightened of cooking. My mom was a very good cook. I never learned, but she died quite young, and I never learned from her. And I think I associated my loss of my mom and her really great cooking and all of that with my own inability to cook. So I got into a groove. I mean, with the kids, it was like, I think a tuna melt was my biggest accomplishment, but they still love me. But now, even now, I do I have a routine. I have like a routine of food that, salmon, broccoli, maybe rice, and yogurt with fruit. That's kind of my classic meal. And I remember just recently, I got an opportunity to cook for a group of people, and it was like, okay, I'm going to make an Indian curry, and that was easy-ish. But then I decided I'm going to make chapatis. I'm going to do chapatis. And it's such a simple thing. Like, you literally have to roll the dough and then put it on a hot pan. But I was literally almost shaking. I was so nervous about making these chapatis. The point I'm making is learn something new. Do something new. It takes courage, determination, and patience. And it makes new friends, because even in just doing that, I made, the people that I was cooking for were really grateful and complimentary. And it was like, I learned about myself in a completely different way. Another thing, number 3, is be spontaneous. Don't overthink things. If you've got something that you really want to do that you think is going to break you out of a comfort zone, don't overthink like the fear or the worry or the lack of doing it properly or, the nervousness that it might be bringing about. Just do it. Just do it. Put a limit to the things you're going to mull over. Like, give yourself a time, okay, I'm going to give this like 10 minutes of meditation and thought, and then I'm going to do it. Trust your gut. There was an article recently that was published that was about trusting your gut, and I think that at some point we have to do that. We have to trust ourselves. Another thing is to introduce yourself to someone new. We spend this is just me rambling a bit, but I think we spend a lot of our lives worrying about what other people think of us. That we're going to be judged, that we're going to be considered not as good as. And our inner critic is like constantly, telling us the shortcomings that we have in our lives, the things that we have failed at, the things that we maybe really changed the direction of our life that we have to accept. Find some new hobbies, by introduce yourself to people, by going to a club, joining a new group. I know it's been hard during COVID times to actually get out into the world, but there's been a lot of online stuff. Meetup has kind of moved online, and it's not perfect, but it's okay. It gets you there, and it gets you in front of new people, and it gets you out of your comfort zone. I think I've told this story before, but I did a cooking class, speaking of cooking, in India, literally online, virtually. It was fun. So exploring new things, new places when you can. When people are going to start heading off on travels again, try to do something, even if it's just virtual, because, you don't even have to travel on a plane or train. You can go canoeing or kayaking or swimming, or there's so many things you can do for the first time. Just go on an adventure and try something completely different. This is number 5. Just try an adventure that you've never tried before, and small or large, big or minute, it makes a difference. It gets you out of that comfort zone, gets you into somewhere that you can find a new you, find a new strength in yourself. It's really, really important. Last one is keep an open mind and don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to fail. I tried pottery once. I always thought I would like to do pottery until I tried it. Then it was like a complete disaster. Well, it wasn't a complete disaster. It just wasn't what I hoped it would be, the perfect raku bowl that I could, eat my food out of and meditate on. It was just a bowl, and it wasn't like anything I couldn't have bought, and it was like, no, this isn't my thing. But failure is often a kind of encouragement. It's like a little message to, okay, that didn't quite work. Well, let's try something a little different. Go that direction, not this one. A little bit to the left, a little bit to the right. And funnily enough, your brain will just jump right in there, and it will help you, because your brain is problem solving. If you have a problem, you're not moving in the right direction or whatever, it will help you. even though it loves to be in that little comfort zone, it's like, okay, we'll try that new thing. We'll do it. So, have you stepped outside your comfort zone recently? Have you tried something for the first time and thought that was really fun? I really am glad I did that. I hope so. I hope so. And I hope 60andMe is a bit of a stimulation and encouragement for you. I would say, by the way, if you like this video, please do me a favor and just like it, because that helps YouTube to actually share it with other people. And of course, you can subscribe to this channel. I think a lot of you already are, and welcome to new people. I really welcome you here. Subscribe. I do 4 videos every week, and I'm happy to share those with you. And just glad that you're here. Thank you so much. So have a great day. Go do something outside your comfort zone today and tell us about it. And know that we've got your back. We're here for you. You can do it. Okay, everybody. Well, have a wonderful day, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. And we'll see you soon. Bye-bye for now.